So, it's Rugby World Cup 2023. France, currently ranked third, have been rated as favourites by the bookies to win. With some great feats they've had, even at one point being the best in the world, they can feel like favourites to win. And rightly so, or should they? This previous weekend, in a tightly contested two-match series against the Scots, Roman Intermac, their star fly-off, took an injury and tore his ACL and is now unfortunately set to miss the World Cup. This is obviously a massive blow as the French rely on the partnership between him and Antoine Dupont, as they both play club level for Toulouse, and Intermac is rated as one of the best fly-offs in the world. Now, on the topic of Scotland, how good was that second game, eh? Scotland facing the French A-team, and except for those two quick burst tries in the second half, they were pretty solid. Can't be a really good look for the French at the moment, as Australia, New Zealand's B team, and Italy, in the final Six Nations game of this year, beat the Scots pretty comfortably. And except for that last-minute try by Blake Kinghorn, Italy was in a very good place to win that match. But hasn't the French form been good? Yes and no. I mean, they obliterated England in Twickenham. But then again, the English have not been in form for a while. And besides that performance, in what other games have they been very dominant? Only the Six Nations last year, and the victory over New Zealand, which is even 2021, was when that happened. And besides that, they haven't had any really big performances. I mean, they've beaten South Africa. They've won a Six Nations, come second in a Six Nations. But could they be losing their form right before a World Cup? Now, our question is, could they be the recipients of the Irish voodoo, peaking a year before a World Cup and then dipping right before it happens? This is looking very likely. Ireland, however, are in amazing form and would be favourites to win except for the small thing of being in the worst ever drawn World Cup. I mean, the top 5 teams are drawn up into 2 pools, which will then directly face each other in the quarterfinals. So that after all the top 5 teams battle it out, it'll only leave 2 of them available to progress to the semi-finals, where they'll be facing most likely arrested Wales, Fiji, England or Argentina, who honestly don't deserve to claim that semi-final spot, as they would not stand a chance to beat any of the top 4, even top 5. Now, escaping from the pools should be pretty easy for the French, as their only competition is the All Blacks. Italy won't really pose a threat, but what will be up for contention is that first spot in the pool. Now, I believe this will be most likely the most exciting game of the tournament, as both teams love their attacking play, and it'll be the first game for both of them, meaning they won't be dealing with fatigue and all that. Now, I'm going to predict that the All Blacks will top the pool and probably defeat the Springboks or Scottish in the quarterfinals. And I can't honestly see France beat Ireland on the Irish current form. Ireland still number 1 for ages, and they aren't looking like going down. I think the only team that can possibly really dethrone them is probably New Zealand, and South Africa is if they have an amazing day. But especially on this current New Zealand form, they are going to be too much for the French, but it will be an amazing game. Now, in answer to my question, no, I don't think France can win the World Cup. Are they definite contenders? You never know. They could have an amazing game. But I think that one of the teams that will win will be either New Zealand or Ireland. And their backline work is pretty good as well. But I just believe they've put too much emphasis on their forward pack to be able to compete against teams like France and Ireland. Because Scotland disrupted it this past weekend, and look what happened. They nearly beat France in France, playing France's first team. Well, I wish France all the best, but I honestly don't see them winning.